What does it tell you to do as far as character? Not dynamic, character. What does it say? Noblemente. Can you show me now on your face, let's say it's the end of the Victorian time, the British Empire is even bigger than the American Empire now, colonized the entire world, and a man who lived in the Victorian time just realized that it's gone, it's finished after the war, and just show me on your face noble expression of a noble Englishman in that time, in that era. Can you just breathe, inhale, and show me this noble character? Good. Now, bravo. Pick an imaginary pointer that you sort of use the king of England, and you do this. We won. You won't. You lost, but at the beginning you won. So when you start to play, instead of doing this, yeah, maybe you can show the public, communicate to the public also this noble feeling on your face when you start to play. So you breathe, inhale. Can you try to do that? Don't play, just inhale and exhale with noble expression. Good. Now let's, for our own sake, for this lesson, let's imagine that the bow is an extension of your mouth, which means whenever you inhale air, it becomes a circular motion. It's not okay? So the circular motion is in the character of the music that you're about to play, right? Okay, now you're a king. Okay, now I want you to play without chords. No chords. Okay? Just play the melody and no down, down bows. Just play a melody with noble expression and the breathing. Imaginary point. Okay. Can you sing it once? Good. Do you also, when you sing, I don't hear what I call electric shock vibrato. You hear the note with decoration. When you play the cello, yeah, and then more. Can you do it more? This is, let's call it for now vulgar. Can you do it noble? Not yet this. Not yet this. Noble. Noble sound, which means not so much decoration. Bravo. Good. I like it. I love it. Now you also went to the D, by the way. You used do, re, mi, Now you went to the re. You did si, mi, re, do, which is, I think, harmonically is what should be done. Wonderful. Now, can you support it with body movement? So the more you move the wind, or the butter, or the ball, or whatever you want to call it, the more reaction. Instead of resist, instead of the resistance, move the body, and not this. Yeah, so sideways and up and down. You drive stick shift car?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you have 4 options. Up, down, side, and side. But not this. Okay? Experiment with it. Try to get to know this part, the hips, this part of the body. Don't do Charlie Chaplin. No, why? Why? Movement. Yes. Bravo. Yeah. It's just you feel it, but you express it physically in the wrong parts. You do Charlie Chaplin or up or this. Do the expression, but just the right way that will help your sound. Okay? Pay attention. Sides. Bravo. Wait. Non-negotiable, the roots. No. You're a tree. If you lift the roots, you go out. Okay? Bravo. And to the re. Good. Now, is it ti-da-dam, adi, adi, or ti-dam? Yeah? Don't neglect the important note because it's little finger and it's hard. Just play re, do, si. Bravo. Now let's add the chords. Why do we have chords? We just want to enhance the expression. Chords give you even more. So what sometimes you do with vibrato, you can do with chords. Now, don't do this, what a lot of people do, and you unfortunately also did. Twa, twa. It's not written. When you played melody, noble, you do the chords. Always in the end, as can you avoid that? Round. Now go to A. Okay, so bravo. Let's say you see again you're Charlie Chaplin a lot. Would you ever walk like this? Like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I think you have to get rid of this habit. Yeah. Also, it doesn't look good, but it's really not beneficial for physicality of the playing. Chords. We agree that the D is more important, no? We agree. So your way to show expression is to do this electric shot, but there's another way, which is a chord. If you do faster, why not show us the chord that is the one? I love you. Yeah, just maybe you can lean into the bass of this chord more. So you show Elgar, I understand that harmonically this is the note you want. Can you try? But other than that was beautiful and very noble. Follow. Now to the bass. And vibrato.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. What does the orchestra do after the E?
Do.
Wah, di da 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 di dam di. Do you think you should change the color there? Or no?
Yeah.
Just ignore it. Right?
No.
Yes. So, a question. To change color, is it better when you have this much bow or this much bow?
As much
Yeah,
as possible.
as much as exactly. You did this. Forget the 200 people behind me. Nothing happens. What if you do? Save the bow. Also here, listen, and change the. Here. Yeah, those I call them magical moments. This magical moment needs attention. Attention means air for singer. Air means bow for us. Okay, so try to play this chord, save the bow, and then we see if you can change the color with the orchestra. So she decides when you change the color. Okay, good. Now we have to discuss how to do it. But there's another thing, I wanted to save it for later. Since you're Spanish and you're so proud of it, like you should be, there's a lot of ole, ole in your playing. A lot. You do. It's always the bow, when you start the bow, and it comes later on. Like, ole! I don't feel, it's not really juicy in English and long. Yeah, I remember once playing this piece for Pinchas Zuckerman in Israel when I was really young. And he told me, Amit, have you ever been in England in the countryside? And he was with a cigar. I was so scared of him. And I've never seen an airplane even. I said, no. I said, well, you have to be there, ride bicycles before you play Elgar. And then he explained to me. He said, when you ride a bicycle like in Scotland, on those vast green land of England, and you see this vast beauty, and you ride the bicycle and you just look around, you can slow down, but just enough not to fall from the bike, because then you fall. So there's always movement, but this is vast land, and no he, oh. which is more typical for maybe different kind of music. So this is something that maybe you can get rid of, but this is in parentheses. It's not. We'll talk about it later. When you do now on the color change, how do we change a color? I give you a really good, cool trick from Rostropovich. The moment of magic, make diminuendo in the bow and crescendo in the vibrato. So when you do, now I wait. Now when I want to change the color, yeah, I release the bow, so diminuendo here, and I increase the amount of vibrato. Can we try once? And then I can change it there. So try it. So don't vibrate so much on the A before the magical moment. Ti-dom. Bravo. Now appoggiatura. No. You know, ti-da. If you're Schumann, will you call Clara? Clara! Oh, Clara! Yeah, ti-dum, always ti-dum, ti-dum. Okay? Now, this I liked very much, but you did sort of, if I may say, what I call a vomiting slide. Like ti, ti, still noble. Still noble, the slide there. You did it's a little bit this. Can you try once a slide more like a human, not vomiting?
Sorry.
Yes, save the bow. And maybe on C string, make sure the tip is facing the public. Yes, so it will grab the string. Yes. And follow with the body. I would work on this slide, and the slide is decided by the bow. We never lift the bow here. Slide is here. If you go inside, you'll hear a lot. If you measure it like a bump on the road with a car, as much as you want, it can be nothing. It can be a little bit. It can be vomit. It's all up to you. Now, a personal suggestion, having played this a lot with orchestra, when you reach the E, who is playing this? Can you play on his and the ti-da? Ti-da-da. What instrument? Da-da.
Clarinet.
Clarinet. Can clarinet vibrate?
No.
No. If you do a typical cellist mistake, like, I'm done, clarinet cannot match it. It will be so out of tune. So once you reach it, think of the clarinet. Otherwise, it's out of tune. Okay? So narrow your vibrato to a point that is almost not there on the E, so the clarinet can come out. Be careful with the bow. Bravo. Yeah, also, not so much in tune, but also, it's only 2 quarters. Clarinet, ti, don't extend it. And I'm saying it because it usually happens to cellists. You play it until one day it's with orchestra, and there's actually a person there. It's not a sensitive pianist that accompanies you. And it becomes a dissonant. Okay, is it clear, the first phrase?
Yes.
The second phrase. Can you please conduct it once? What is the time signature?
56.
No, time signature. So is it 4/4, 3/4, 9/8? What is it? What are you conducting it?
4/4.
4/4, okay. Now sing it in 4/4 and conduct. Bravo. Great, that's all I needed to hear. You know why? Because you're singing it and conducting it as it is. It's an upbeat. It's ni-da-da. But you play, no, you say, here I am. And again. But it's exactly opposite. And the note that is important, you don't vibrate. You do this, now dead. But it's really left vibrato to the F sharp. and then this is a 1, and then diminuendo. So if you follow it rhythmically, it gives you the answer, how the phrase should be, but it's not ti, da, la, da, di. Try. But let's do it once, just left hand and voice, because you do now ti da di e di. Sing it and just play the left hand. Well, what about do diez? Do sostenuto. How do you say sostenuto? Yes. La da di da and from the D sharp, decrease the amount of vibrato ti di to almost nothing. So it becomes your tool of decoration. Bravo. Perfect. Did you see that? Yes. Wonderful. Also your voice, by the way. Sing in your life. Now just your bow becomes your mouth. That's it. But same decoration. I don't care that it's a little difficult before a shift. Easy. No. Music. Do, di, di, do, do. Same thing. Ah, no, no. Now you do it with Charlie Chaplin, but not with vibrato. That's it. Now I hear it. It's a language for the ear, not for the eyes to see. This is not expression. It's here. Ti, lo, di, and then ti, di, di, to the third one. Ti, di, di. Bravo. And then he writes diminuendo. Okay, good. Now the F sharp is much better. You're concerning about it. Who plays this?
Viola sections.
Yeah, viola section. I know there's always jokes about viola, but to be honest with you, again, doing it many times, if it's not Berlin Philharmonic, and it won't be, because only few of us are lucky to do that with them, it's not going to be in tune. I'm telling you. It will be really out of tune. And if you add to it, they cannot even catch it themselves, the 12 violists, and play in tune. So, give them an F sharp that they can match. Now, when you do it with piano, which is the stage you are in, competitions, juries, job, whatever you are trying to do, she cannot vibrate at all. So it's even more irritating for the ear if you're not really careful on that F sharp. So do as much vibrato as you want on the A, that's the one. But after that, decrease it and then maybe pull back a little bit so you sort of lock the intonation. And then it should match with the F sharp. That's what you should think about. Can I match that F sharp? Try. Last time. Bravo. And sink down your elbows. Bravo. Almost. But you're aiming for it, yes. Good, you're aiming for it. Now I have a question for both of you. Preferably without looking. What is the time signature in the next section?
Must be 60 something maybe.
No, not how fast. The time. Moderato. And what is it? 3/4, 4/4, 9/8, 12/8. What is it?
I don't know if it's a 3/4.
3/4.
The feeling is.
No. I didn't ask about feeling. What did Elgar write? I mean, he wrote obviously notes that you respect, but he also wrote time signature, which could be 3/4, it could be 12/9, whatever. What is it?
I mean, I don't know if it's 3/4 or 9/8.
But you agree that it should tell you something musically, whatever it is?
Yeah.
I mean, you can conduct it, if it's Berlin Philharmonic, as far as I'm concerned, you can have a cigarette and just show them the character. But what did he write? It's 9/8. Why 9/8 and not 3/4? I mean, give me a reason why it could be. I mean, we don't know.
Perhaps he wanted the little note to be
more
expressed.
I agree with you. So it's not, also you played ti da ti di ti. You really play it in 3. And you do the same thing. Sometimes you try to vibrate it. I'm not saying that each time of the 4 times the theme comes, you should vibrate. No, I agree with you. You did it, by the way, I saw it and I recognize it's beautiful. Each time was different. I love it. But don't let us have the feeling that it's in 3. Whatever if you don't vibrate, it's also fine. Vibrato is one expression. It could be in the bow, it could be whatever it is, but the small note is important. So what I want you to do now is to simply count out loud while you're playing. To do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? So the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah? All those notes are as important.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Now let's do it. Let's do it together. So start from your yeah. Yeah, there's also beautiful. There's the bicycle example that I gave you from Zuckerman, that you ride, when you play this theme, you ride a bicycle, you can slow down and go fast, but don't slow down too much, because then you fall. But there's also the famous Casal's example here, which is like the leaves from the tree that are falling and they're not just calmly falling down. And maybe calm is a word. If you ever go to that countryside, calm and beauty. So maybe, I know it's piano, it's not strings, but maybe not to stick out the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Good. If it's too slow, you can pick it up. Whatever. No, don't make accent on the short notes. Do, do, do. Yes. No, it's a little slow, so you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, good, bravo. So that's a point that is very important. Now, I know that you are very intellectual and you're a great cellist. You do each time different, but how do you characterize this one and why? First of all, what is a dynamic?
Piano.
Okay, piano. The next one is?
Mezzo forte.
Okay, so already dynamic different. Now, what other clues, Elgar, who is dead now, in his grave, what does he tell you that will help you to come up with a solution of character? And usually when I asked it, it's never in your part, it's the orchestra.
Probably it's the chords.
Chord, and when the chord comes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just hear it once and imagine your part.
Mm-hmm.
Mi, da, da, ti, da, ah, ti, da, da, ti, da, ti, da, ti. Yeah. Okay, now let's do it in this slow tempo. Physically, with your left hand, can you be sensitive to the chord? So the chord is like tickling you. Da, di, da, da, ah. When you have this chord, whenever it comes, I want to feel it in your left hand. Because it's not going to be the same the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Yeah, that's for now, just. When you go to the G, when you go to chord, maybe different gear for vibrato. Let's say use passive vibrato for the rest of it, and active vibrato when the chord suggests emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, bravo. Bravo, yes. Now, do you see? Now different sound, good, great. Yeah, so in tempo it will not be as emphasized, but it makes it a different phrase. Yeah, now this was very good. Yeah, can you start from there? Who is playing the melody then?
Violins?
Violins, yeah. Can you, there are no violins here, but can you, since we have to practice also communication, can you show me that in a concerto, you are basically eliminating the conductor? Your job, and usually that's the case. I mean, unfortunately, it's, again, not Berlin Philharmonic. Orchestras are not so good. You know the part better than the conductor. If the orchestra feel that this is chamber music and you are with them, they will love you. And you're usually the young artist that they've never met, and all they think about is, why him and not my students? Really. And the other thing is, I need to go to the supermarket. Like, they don't care about how you play. But if you do... You just look, acknowledge her, and give it to her. She'll say, oh, that's music, that's why I'm here. It will become chamber music. Okay. Acknowledge her. This position is very easy to acknowledge. With my students, I force them to actually acknowledge the concertmeister, regardless of the piano, or the conductor. So you're training yourself to do these physical motions. But now, just make chamber music. Yeah, but Ferran, please, just for me, without the Charlie Chaplin. With the vibrato, it's the feeling is there. The distribution is wrong. Please fix the B. Yes. Yeah. Okay. When you play the B, please fix it. Intonation is all about adjustment. It's not about playing in tune, because in tune is relative. It's adjusting, and the faster you do it, the better intonation you have. When you play the B, would you maybe consider because then you have a hiccup. You do there's a hole. If it's two, you can connect to you. So it's violins into cello. Yeah? Follow the bow, follow. Yes. Okay, good. Now the water starts to boil. You agree? When it boils, that means physically that you have to be more involved, no? Don't you think? I mean, you have to be in a better posture in order to produce. If it's a singer, if you're like, Ti-di-di or ti-da-di-da. So you have to feel planted to the ground. What you do is this. You are here. You finish the B. So you pass the butter. But you say, you know what? I'll just stay here. And you're using the worst part of the bow for the most emotional part in the music. This part, I call it the magical area of the bow, because here we create magic. If you play Debussy, I mean, you can do whatever you want here. There's no weight. Weight is distributed here. It's not natural. Here, it's natural. So when you want to produce sound, go back home. This is home. This is away from home. If you stay away from home and need to produce, something is wrong. So on the long note, go back home. So the short note is always here. It's really comfortable. And remember at the beginning of the lesson, we did this? Can you do it now a lot when you play ti da da and vibrate the short note? Bravo. Keep the roots down. Bravo. Yeah, great. Great. I love it. Wonderful. Great sound. I want to show you something. If I play a low re with a slow bow, it sounds okay. If I play the same re here, same slow bow, you know what happens, yeah? So, the higher you go, the more bow you need. The higher you go in your voice, you need more air. This is an extension of our mouth. So the higher you go on the cello, the more air you need. If you play, I know it has to be loud, but A string is not a good sound. It's like doing this to a singer. You need to move the bow and therefore to react with the body, not to... The whole bow. I would take less pressure and more speed, so the sound that goes out is ringing and dancing rather than okay? Try to do it. The higher you go on the cello, the more bow you need, and the implication is the more movement of the body.
I have a question. The little note, TD, do you...
16, of course.
16.
Yeah. It's a 60 note.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Much better, much better. Another thing that might help you. Imagine that when you play, you're a midget. You know what's a midget?
Yeah.
Little man.
Yes.
And the string is this big, from the floor to the ceiling. Huge! Your job as a midget is to take the bow and on a down bow to put it above the string and to pull it. On an up bow to put it below the string and to push it. So you're never here. You're never here. So an up bow would be my elbow below the G, above, below, above, below, above, below. So what I'm doing to the string is this, rather than, okay, because you're choking your instrument. So try to do it, and once without the piano, verbalize it. Say below and above, like I did. Below, above, below, below, above, yes, sorry, below. Yes. What do you think?
Very nice.
See, I always ask the pianist because she has no opinion as a cellist. They know the best. If it sounds better, no? Okay, from now on, if you want to sound better, faster bow, and I call it the push and pull technique. Push and pull, yeah? So when you play on one string, even you look at Piatigorsky, he was great in this. You look in all videos, you see on one string, you see the bow arm going up and down on one string, and therefore the sound is ringing. Okay, let's do it. Above, follow, below. Now save the bow and. Okay, good. I mean, of course, this is the dream of every cellist to get to this point. I remember myself in high school when I played it first time, and when that moment came, I mean, I was so nervous and excited, I should say, that I don't want to use this word, but I didn't play it well. It was a rehearsal. But I was so excited. Same with Dvořák. First time playing Dvořák. It comes like, wah! I'm playing Dvořák. With Elgar is this. But you also feel how overwhelmed you are by the amount of sound from the orchestra. And this sound does not come from strings. Where does it come from?
From the
brass.
Brass.
Yeah, let's just hear it once. Ti-da-da, ti-da-da-da, hum, 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 hum. Yeah, now, it says sostenuto, no?
Yes.
Yeah, you know why? Because brass sitting so far from you, there's going to be a delay. And again, the trombone player, the trumpet player, the horn player, what do they think about when they play it? Oh shit, my wife told me to take my kid to the doctor. I forgot to bring the medication. Di-da-da. They're like us, they have life. Yeah? They see a young artist, they can't even hear you, even if you have huge sound, because you face, and they see a conductor, usually guests, they hate them anyway, and they're doing the job. Yeah? So it's going to be delayed. They're not going to be so involved, unless it's Rostropovich. You have to make them. How do you make them involved? You acknowledge what happens. So acknowledge the chords, which means don't rush. It needs time. That's why it's sustained. How do you sustain it in 9/8? Please vibrate the short note there. You do this. You really, here it's big time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and the body movement, if you can be like a tree with a very calm wind, rather than, oh my God, this is a moment. Yeah, Okay, so try and try to have one ear planted into the piano, so you actually hear the pam, pam, the massiveness of this. Yeah, now it's very slow, but okay. Push him a little. Bravo! Okay, yes. Very good, you're very teachable, I like it. There's one note here. I always think of this. Do you know those movies where you have the bad guy, and all movies, the good guy is trying to kill the bad guy, and eventually at the end, the last scene, you shoot him, and you shoot the bad guy, and he's on the floor, and everybody, the audience, and then the main actor, they're like, whew. But then the bad guy is not yet dead, and he's like, ah! He's behind you with a knife. He comes to you, and then you kill him, and then he's dead. And there's one note like this here. There's one note where you put the knife in the heart of that bad guy, and there's one note here where you actually do this. Do you know which one it is? And again, the answer is in the orchestra. Elgar is telling you there's one note that is so emotional. Let's just listen once. Ti da 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 ta da da ti da da di 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 sforzando the whole orchestra. An amazing moment. You're like, it's just the A. I have the big jump behind me. I have the big scale in front of me. I'm in my own world. No, I think the electric shock vibratos that I didn't like in the beginning, big time on the A. Ti-da, boom, on this chord. Because this is the most important and intense note in this phrase. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Harmonically.
Yes.
So let's try to do it now. First open and sustain. And when you get to that note, like you put your hand in the electric, just on this note. Now. Please, please, please. One. See? If I make a sculpture of you on that note and take the cello, it looks the most unhuman. Human. Can we try to find, what note is it, the high note?
Me.
Mi. Can you play like 4 bows on mi, low mi? Every bow, try to feel that it's like a 3-dimension note. It goes to the floor. 1, below, above. Now go 1 octave higher. Here, here. Look at me, let's do it like a mirror. Here. Same feeling. Here. Below. Above. Now faster bow. Faster bow. Yes. Now make it short. Yeah. Think about the E. Yes. If you're a conductor, how would you conduct this scale? Ya da di da 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 di da da da. How?
Or maybe.
Yeah. So ya la di da 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 tu ta 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 ti ta ti ta boom. So can you do it once and play and count out loud? 1 ta di da 2 ta di da and then 1, 2, 3 arrive. Slow, do it slow. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 arrive. And yes, okay, now with the piano. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, and of course when we get to the second scale, it's in tempo. You didn't do it, but there's no reach there. Yeah. Okay, next phrase, please. Let's just listen to the orchestra. It's in mezzo forte. If you sing in mezzo forte, would you inhale the air differently than when you sing in piano?
Yes.
Okay, you don't do it as a cellist. You did this. First time, like, maybe I buy it. Second time, again, you do it with vibrato. No, the sound is produced here. Mezzo forte is in the preparation, yeah, and you didn't do that. But first I want to hear what does Elgar wants us to do with the orchestra. So, yeah, do you think this should be more free than the first one or less?
Less.
Of course. When I hear this, I think of ping pong. Ping, pong, ping. Yeah, you play ping pong, yeah?
Yeah.
It's non-negotiable here. First time, you have the time to express. Third time also. Fourth time, not so much, but different color. This one is the one that you have to play mezzo forte and keep the pulse. So try to do it with the breathing and then keep the, again, one ear in the orchestra. Yeah, okay. Can you stand once? Stand. 2,000 people. You're Pavarotti. And you have to sing aria and it starts. Ti-da-da. You have to produce sound for the last row. 2,000 people. Show me how you inhale air for that. Okay, so you do. Now, if you transfer it into bow motion, is it this or? Now, let's say you're not a singer, you're a conductor. And you have to give an upbeat to 100 people orchestra. Would it be mezzo forte? T or T. Try. I'll sing, you conduct. T. Now look at his bow arm. Perfect. T. You know, it gets to the height of your nose. I always tell my students, when you start something in mezzo forte and above, lift your bow before at least to the height of your nose. That's what you will do as a conductor, naturally. You would never do, you don't suggest it to the orchestra. You don't suggest it when you sing. Don't suggest it when you play cello. Play a bar before. Lift. Yeah, let's try now. I know it's exaggerated, I know. But let's try now with the gentleness that you do it, but to lift it to the height of your nose, which is a lot. It's very high. High. Okay, bravo. Yeah, now, can you add to it body movement? So not... Yeah? And think of ping pong. Up. Ping, pong, ping, pong. Bravo. Good. Now look at the cello section. Together. Vibrate the short notes. Yeah, good. This is another moment to acknowledge, especially this moment, because this is your instrument. They really hate you. These are the ones that, no, I'm not kidding. These are the ones that really don't want you there. It's either they want to be there or the students, but of course not you. So if you acknowledge them, and even show them that you play with them. You play with them. I'm going with you, principal. Let him give the sign. Dum, dum. And then you look at the conductor. Boom. Yeah? So try to do it once. And a question. If you're principal of an orchestra, would you suggest in this theme for the entire 12 cellos to play an open G string?
Maybe not.
Of course not. So how come you as a soloist don't do it? Because they are not a good cello section will not play 12 open Gs.
Okay.
So try to not mute, but have same ability to control the color on the G, because they will. Can we do just this, the theme? Try to lead him, lead him. La 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 la. Bravo. But no, T-E-E-E-E. Yeah, be careful with those endings. Bravo. Really good. I like it. Suggestion that I got from Boris Pergamenchikov. He always talked from experience, and that's what I liked, because he actually did it. many times. So he said, I mean, all those things that I'm telling you about communicating with the orchestra came from him, from being on stage and doing it. And it's a human relation that are really important. The end of it, if you do, and you're here, now you have 12 cellos or 14 cellists, and you having to jump to the pits. So he suggested to connect the B, pom, pom, and you're right there. So I just transfer it to you. And one day when you have a student, please, you have to, the rule is that you have to mention who gave it to you.
Okay.
That's it, the one before last, that's it. Okay, but ti da lam, and you're right here. Try. Match.